Hello, my name is Sarah and I am a wedding concierge in Lexington, Kentucky. And I recently went to Istanbul, Turkey and had an experience with some of the medical tourism there. I did not actually know that that was a thing. I was just going along for a fun trip, and as I was researching on TikTok, I found all these super cool things, and then I had to try some of it out for myself. So I wanted to walk you through some of the things that I experienced and scheduling, finding the locations, and what things cost. So the first thing that I wanted to have done was have a mole on the side of my face removed. I am self-employed, and so I was kicked off of my parents' insurance when I was 21, right out of college. And then from there, I had like a private insurance plan that was crazy expensive. And then I had to start going through the marketplace, but my insurance was super expensive and it wasn't super great. And in the United States, having a mole removed is considered cosmetic surgery, and it became a lot of hassle to have a freaking mole removed off the side of my face. I've literally wanted it gone for 20 years, and it was like, oh, you have to go see a cosmetic surgeon for that. You have to do your initial appointment, and then after that, you'll go back in and actually have it done, and it's all your insurance doesn't cover even your appointment, etc. It was too much work and going to be too much money. It wasn't that big of a deal. So the first thing I wanted to do was have my mole removed, and that cost $300. I found the dermatologist that I used from TikTok. I will put all that information on the screen here for you. So I had that done. That was $300, and I communicated with them through WhatsApp. They do have a translator on their staff for English, and she was absolutely wonderful. Because they are 8 hours ahead of us, we did communicate at weird hours, and so there would be, some delays sometime to be expected. And so you would send in pictures with your concerns, and then they would send back what they would recommend that you do, and what the cost would be for that, etc. So that was my number one thing I wanted to have done. And then I have an autoimmune disorder, and I've been on some medicine probably since like 2017, 2018. And since I've been on that, I have had some hair loss. And so I wanted to have PRP done in my head, because I've had it done in my knee before and it went great. In the United States for my knee, PRP was $400. For the face and the head, everything I see here starts the like $500 to $700 range, because typically it is like a bougie type, spa type place that does that. I inquired about PRP. I think it was around the $300 range, maybe less than that. It was definitely less than that. But they recommended, and I'm not going to say this right. If you're in the medical community, you're going to judge me. I'm sorry. It's called Exosomes, Exosomes. And so they recommended that for my hair loss, and because the majority of it is like in this area, I got essentially one big shot all over my head. We did not do any numbing for that, but it definitely hurt. But I can definitely, like, when I feel it, I can definitely like feel those little hairs, starting to come out. It is one of the things that, it is recommended that you do it a couple of times. Unfortunately, I have not actually found anybody in Lexington that does that. And there's one place that might, but it's crazy expensive. So I'm just hoping that, this one helps. I did actually decide to get lip filler. That is something I've always wanted to do. Again, I'm not paying $700 for that. It's not that I don't think it's worth $700. That is just completely out of my budget. So for one full syringe, it was $290. And that was 1 cc, I think is what that's called. And so he did my lips, and so he numbed the side of my face, which I have just a small scar still there that I am putting ointment on every day. So we numbed that, and we numbed my lips. And as a redhead, I never saw another redhead the entire time that I was in Turkey. And it takes a lot of numbing to numb anything for a redhead. So I kind of felt everything. So we lasered off the mole, and so essentially I guess it like burned down in the skin. I don't know, but It was very uncomfortable. And then doing the lip injections, extremely uncomfortable. Although I really like the way the top lip looks, because that was my biggest complaint. One of those things nobody else is ever going to notice but you. I don't know that I can go through that pain again, because they were like, oh, you're not numb, you can feel that? Yeah, yeah, I can feel all of that. So I don't know if that's normal to feel it, or if that's just me. And then, like I said, he did not do any numbing on my head, which, again, I don't know how you would even do that. I'm going to put a picture up of what I look like after that. I was miserable. I was in pain. I did actually have a vehicle service take me from the hotel to this appointment. And, of course, I have no idea how to read addresses in Istanbul. So I got out of the vehicle and I'm like, well, no idea where to go now. And I had to call to figure out how to find them. I could find the building, but I couldn't actually figure out how to get in. And to get into the building, you actually have to give your ID to a person sitting in a little booth, and then they kind of like buzz you in. And so that's how that all worked. And then I took a vehicle back, and yeah, so that was experience number one. I had originally also planned to do face PRP because it was around the $200, $250 range, whatever it was very affordable. About half or even a third of what it is in the United States. However, I ended up deciding not to do that, and I'm really glad I did, because I don't know that I could have gone through any more pain during that appointment, because I've never had anything done like that before. I did not know what to expect. I think if I had just had like the lips done or the head done, I could have done the PRP with that, but like lasering the bowl and all the things, I would not have survived that. So I gave it a couple of days, and then I started looking around the hotel to see who around the hotel did face PRP, because it was so much less expensive there that I really wanted to take advantage of that. And I found a place that was within walking distance of my hotel and was able to get an appointment in there, talk through WhatsApp. They were absolutely great. They thought I was crazy, but that's okay. Like I said, I originally went for face PRP, and I will back up. The first place I went to, the dermatologist did all of the work. The nurse, we're going to call her, did like a little bit of the numbing, but the dermatologist did all of the actual work, and then the translator was in the room with you. The second location, the receptionist was the one that welcomed me, asked me what I was there for, and then took me back to meet the dermatologist, and he spoke wonderful English. He was super great, and he asked me if I wanted to try something. So I had PRP done, and then I also had something else done, and I'm going to have to go back through my notes to figure out what that was now. So with PRP, they take your blood out, they spin it, and they put the good blood back in, is basically the way I understand it. And they do that all over the face, and they numbed my whole face. It was miserable. It hurt just as bad as the other things did. And then it really hurt when he got into this range. And whenever he got to this eye, I was like, we can't go that close in. Like, it really hurt. And then I thought we were done. Like, we did one of the things, and I guess I just assumed that it would be mixed together. I don't know. And then he starts going at it again. So then he put all the other stuff on it, and it really hurt really bad. So that visit ended up being around, I think, $380. I looked like I had been beaten whenever I left this appointment, and honestly, I felt like I had been beaten. It did take me about 2 weeks to completely heal, so honestly, I'm glad that I was not home during that process. I can't say enough good things about my experience. It was worth every single penny I spent on it. Like I said, I don't know that I will do some of it again because of how bad it hurt. But if you are interested in going to Turkey for medical tourism, or you're already going for vacation or anything like that, I would absolutely recommend looking into the two places I went to, or looking at TikTok for other options, because it was worth every single penny in the experience. Even if you just want to try it once when you're there, it's a great rate to try it at. So I hope this helps somebody.